this dude don't have no flush, man. So I go and I just keep betting. I keep betting. Finally, we get to the hand, and he looks, and I put 4 more down, and he looks at me and he goes, God damn it. Just folds.
Really?
Whole deck came to me because he knew. He fucking knew. But I'm like, why are you folding when you're right there?
Yeah, you got one bet to make, right?
So it made no sense. But hey, man, I think I got $16 off of that one.
Yeah, I ain't bad. So
made my money back.
You know, it's funny because I won a hand tonight and I didn't even fucking realize it. I was just listen. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a few beers tonight.
Yeah.
Obviously, you drove, so I had nothing to worry about. You know. So I was like, "Fuck it, bro. You know, let me get in a beer." So the server comes over. She goes, "Does anybody need a beverage?" I'm like, "Well, hell yeah, I need a beverage." So I go to hand her my credit card. She goes, "Oh, we only take cash and chips." I'm thinking, "Oh, this bitch is gonna take away from my poker money."
Chips, man.
So I give her $5 for a beer. You know, is what it is. While this is going on, I'm ordering a beer. I'm just, I call. Fuck, I ain't even looking at the guy. I'm playing like Dusty at this point. I ain't even paying the fuck attention. Just fucking throw money out. Just throwing goddamn. It don't even matter, dude.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, everybody's folding. And I it was like 14 or 15 bucks.
Yeah.
Right at me, right? So at one point I was up $160.
Yeah.
Off of $80. Which, I mean, I doubled my money, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, dude, I got, first off, the shuffling method over there, complete and utter bullshit. I had 3 sets of pocket kings and lost to 3 sets of flushes within probably 10 hands.
Yeah.
And I lost with pocket kings off the river.
Right.
3 straight games.
Right.
With pocket kings, right? So I'm thinking to myself, well, this is bullshit.
I didn't even shuffle on the deck at that point.
Well, it didn't seem like it, right? But, I mean, obviously they did. I mean, I definitely had different types of kings. It was just a weird situation. But it was like, God damn, dude, this fucking old guy he called every bet I made chasing the river, and it paid off every time. And I got this old bitch next to me trying to coach me up in cards. I'm like, you ain't won a fucking hand since you've been here. Like, why are you coaching me up? Like, I've won fucking plenty of hands at this point.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. I mean, you're always going to have those type of people. But, it was a hell of a time, bro. I definitely would go back.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe I'll bet on the dog racing or something next time.
Man.
Maybe not bet on my card skills.
Probably a little smarter to bet on something that you're able to watch and not throw as much money down.
Well, listen.
I mean, with poker, man, it's quick in and out, in and out, in and out.
Unless you're slow rolling,
If you're slow rolling, they're gonna call you out on it. It's gonna be a rough night.
So get this, bro. I went to raise on a $4 bet, and obviously we can keep it moving after this. But check this out. They had a rule where if I wanted to put the $4 down to match, and I wanted to go to 8, I put $4 in ones, and then another $4 in ones. But I put the $4 in ones down first, and to follow with the second 4. Right. Oh, you can't do that. And it has to be all in one consecutive stack in order to raise it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, y'all got some weird ass rules.
I couldn't understand the raise scale and all that stuff. I mean, like literally, once you get to a certain point in the game, you can only bet $4. Once you're in a certain point in the game, you can only bet up to $2. So I get the 2s and the 4s, but I didn't get why at certain points in the game, the raise amount changes.
Well,
you don't know exactly.
It was because everybody called $4. Right. So after $4, you can't go back and bet less than $4. So you had to always go higher than $4. Well, it was 1s and 2s, so the next bet up had to be 8 at that table.
Right.
Listen,
I thought we had a minimum of 4.
You do, but within that certain circumstance where if everybody calls $4,
you got to go up.
You go up,
right.
Yeah. Which I mean, it is what it is, right? But I mean, that's what it was. Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, I walked out of there with $0. I lost on pocket kings to another flush at the end of the night.
Yeah, man.
Kind of had me pissed off because I'm thinking to myself, I lost with pocket kings 3 times
In a row.
to the same fucking dude on a flush. What are the chances mathematically of that happening?
Not good.
No, not really. I mean, usually when you get pocket kings, jacks, jacks especially, right? I mean, jacks, queens, kings, aces.
Yep.
You're looking good. I lost with a 3 of a kind tonight against a flush.
Damn.
I'm like, dude, I couldn't have worse luck.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do though? It's like it's just one of those things.
You know how it goes, man. But yeah, man, poker night, man. Something different about playing against people that you don't know.
Yeah, dude.
Especially people that are considerably good compared to you, and they know what the fuck they're doing. And when you walk in there and you're just an innocent bystander, you got to be on your A game when it comes to just thinking and processing shit very fucking fast, or they're gonna fucking just barge on you the whole fucking night.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
So it's fucking nuts, bro. It is insane, man.
I gotta be real.
Well, yeah, man.
How about them Jazz, bro?
Yeah, man. How about them Jazz, man?
I try to tell you, dog.
Something different,
you
man.
sleeping on my dog Quinn Snyder.
Yeah, man. Quinn Snyder, man. He's turning that shit around, man. I mean, not turning around, but just making a name for himself. Those guys, they're fucking looking good. Looking real good. It's kind of crazy to just think about how good Donovan Mitchell's actually playing right now.
Dude.
It's out of this world right now. So
how long has he been in the NBA? 3 or 4 years?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think we're at 4 years now.
I thought it was 3.
It might be 3, but I mean, the guy's averaged 20 points every year.
Yeah, but in the playoffs, he usually plays really well. Except last year, he didn't play too well.
Crazy,
but the year before, I think he's been in the NBA 3 years.
Yeah.
Before we go on, how about, listen, to all the viewers out there, we fixed the fucking cameras. I know y'all are bitching about that shit, so we got that fixed.
We had to change it up. We got a couple different angles.
Show them the other angle we got, goddammit.
Just to kind of show you guys that we're working with the feed.
So listen, y'all tell us, option 1 was obviously before this. This is option 2. So in the comment section, let us know, what do you like better, option 1 or option 2?
Obviously, option 2 is a great angle for us. It just kind of gives us a better perspective on shit. So let us know. I know you guys kind of want to see our cool gear. We got a nice little roadcaster right here. You could get to see our setup. So let us know how you guys feel about the camera angles, and if there's anything that you guys would like us to do, or some things that you would like us to talk about on the podcast. We'll talk about pretty much anything. So.
We'll tackle whatever. But yeah, man, back to the Jazz. I think Donovan Mitchell, man, he looks like an absolute baller.
Right.
The thing I like about Donovan Mitchell, too, is he ain't really dealing with a lot of help over there. I mean, he's definitely got help, but it's not like, he's got another all-star on the team. They got Mike Conley. They got Rudy Gobert, which I think Rudy Gobert is an all-star, but it's more based off of his defense than anything. It's not like he's a real,
just a bunch of role players, man. I mean, they got shooters around them, too, Joe Ingles, great shooter. Mike
Bogdanovich, good shooter.
Bogdanovich. I mean, Mike Conley's been a great shooter throughout his career. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know. Nuggets, man, they're just one of those squads. They're at that point where it's make or break. Jamal Murray's playing his heart out. Jokic is playing his heart out. But outside of that, there ain't nobody performing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't understand how how they're not able to, compete, because they're really not competing in this series, man. I mean, they competed in that first game, and that was it. Good. And, I mean, yeah, they're young, but, I mean, yeah, I guess Jokic, man, I mean, this guy's, supposed to be, one of the best centers, top 3 in the league, and, he's literally doing nothing in the playoffs to make his team win.
Yeah, I mean, Jamal Murray's definitely been the standout. I mean, I don't think anybody
Exactly.
Nobody's going to deny the fact that Jamal Murray definitely is the standout on the team.
Right.
Which, I mean, just right now, I mean, it is what it is in that situation.
You can give the Nuggets a year or 2, because they still got Michael Porter. Michael Porter, one of those guys that, if he develops into what we think we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be a stud. Good. Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. Definitely a thing. He's kind of, up and down, really. I mean, he's still young. I get it. But, he's had games where, in the bubble, before the playoffs, he's 35, 32, 28, 20. Now he's got 9 points, 12 points, 20 points.
And then Bobo.
Well, listen, man. But I told you this. I said, did you look at him play though? I was like, if you look at the stats, it looks good. But then when you start looking at the percentages,
why is he not playing as much in the playoffs?
He's 3 for 9 and he's got 12 points. Big deal. Awesome. You know what that means? He hit 3 shots out of 9 and he shot some free throws.
Right.
Why is he not playing in the playoffs? Well, I'm not the head coach. I don't know. I mean, obviously there's something within his game that the coach doesn't believe in.
Yeah.
It might have to do with the fact that maybe he interferes with Jokic's minutes.
I mean, he is playing, but he's not, he's not putting up the 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Obviously, they were injured. They had a lot of injuries at first when they first came to the bubble. But, when a guy's playing as good as they're saying he's playing,
right?
Obviously, efficiency-wise, you could see there was a big discrepancy. But why is he not playing? What's going on? What changed? Obviously the injuries changed a little bit, but what's really the change? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't have an answer to that one really. I don't know what the issue is over there. Maybe they just don't think he's ready for the big time games. I mean, that could just be that simple.
Right.
But I think on a further note, bro, what's up with them Clippers and Mavericks, man? Luka Doncic is giving them boys everything they can handle. Yeah, and on the first podcast, we both decided that, we thought the Clippers were going to be in the finals. They're struggling with the 7th seed.
I think
3-2 series right now.
I don't know with Kawhi, he seems to struggle in the first couple series in the playoffs every year almost.
Okay.
I mean, last year, he obviously they did great against the Magic. I mean, they had that one loss, but when they got to Philly, 7-game series, and obviously, I guess you could compare Philly to Dallas from a talent standpoint.
I think they have more talent. Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, J.J. Redick.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Ben Simmons.
But this year,
Tobias Harris.
You can't say that Dallas isn't talented this year. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Dallas has got Kristaps, Luka, which is top 3 right now. I mean, if we're being honest, statistically speaking, Luka's top 3. But
yeah, I mean,
and look what he's doing in the playoffs. You know what I mean? He's young. He's 21 years old. And he's putting up these points in the playoffs.
The only knock on Luka right now, though, and when you watch him play, you're like, well, this guy's really transcendent. But he's had a couple games with double-digit turnovers.
Yeah,
that's gonna hurt your team. He had one game. Sure. He had 10 turnovers. Man, you can't turn the ball. Here's the thing: they use him so much, right, that eventually he's gonna make a mistake.
Right.
I understand that, and I'm not trying to be too harsh on him, but 10 turnovers is way too much.
But you got to put him. You got to put him in this category. Is he gonna be James Harden and go to the second round of the playoffs every year and get a second round exit because he turns the ball over too much, or is he gonna be LeBron and make it to the Eastern or Western Conference Finals every single year because his teams are always very efficient? Because LeBron's an efficient player when it comes to turnovers.
So I don't know because I don't view him as either a LeBron James or a James Harden. I really don't.
Right.
I view him more as just a Luka Doncic, man. I mean, I think that, he's definitely not as explosive as LeBron. Mm-hmm. Call me crazy. I think I kind of like him better as a player than James Harden already. I think.
Yeah, I like him a little bit better than Harden.
I think he plays a little harder on defense. I think he definitely is maybe a little lesser of a passer depending on what you want to, how you want to determine what I'm not here to really debate what makes a good passer. I mean, if you want to look at stats or if you want to look at efficiency, that's that's whatever. Yeah. But rebounding the ball, playing defense, scoring the ball, I think he does it better. Out of the 3 categories, he does it better. James Harden, he's had some seasons. Well, he had last season he averaged 12 assists.
Yeah.
So definitely has the ability to pass the ball around and get to the open shooter. So I'm not going to say that he, Luka blows him out of the water or Harden blows him out of the water. I just think that when it comes to taking care of the ball, Luka does tend to struggle a little bit. I mean, when you're averaging, I think he averages like 6 turnovers a game. That's a lot. You know, like
that's a hefty amount of turnovers.
Absolutely. You know, and one thing I really do hold value in when I watch basketball, and you know, it is maybe just my opinion, but when your plus minus is, you know, a negative 23,
that's not good.
I mean, you're hurting your team. Yeah, you got 40 because he dropped a game where he had 40, but he had a negative 23 plus minus. You got 10 turnovers. You got 4 personal fouls. You had a technical foul. Mm-hmm. Every time you get a foul that goes, you know, towards your plus minus, because you're obviously altering the game. You just gave this team free throws potentially.
Right.
10 turnovers. You can't do those things, you know? And I'm not too sure, you know, and I should know this, but if you miss a shot, I don't know if that goes towards your plus minus. I would have to imagine it may.
Right.
And, you know, when you watch, like, him and Kawhi play right now, they're not really shooting super well, but they're killing at the free throw line. They're killing it.
So with Paul George, I mean, obviously Paul George has come out and openly said about, I guess he's got anxiety because of the bubble. And a lot of people were kind of downplaying that, but a lot of the NBA players are like, oh, yeah, all we have is social media and stuff like that. And I think Paul George is kind of using that to tell people this is the reason why he's struggling. And do you think Paul George is the reason they're struggling in this series?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's without a doubt. I mean, dude, first, what?
You think they can win without Paul George?
Well, they've done
without him being super effective.
They've done it already twice.
I'm talking about the championship.
Oh, the championship.
Right.
Hell no.
No.
I mean, you got to think, dude. So next round they play the winner of Oklahoma and Houston.
Mm-hmm. They'll win that one.
I think it'll be an easier matchup for them.
100%.
Because it's just going to be too small. Yeah. But
both teams are going to be too small. Besides, Oklahoma's going to have Steven, but I mean, outside of Steven Adams, who do they have? So
you got a stretch 4 over there from Gallinari, not a big deal. But
yeah, but he's more of a small forward, so right.
So, excuse me. That gambling takes something out of you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I hear you.
Listen, man. I think the ultimate matchup for them is the Lakers.
Right.
I think they're the 2 deepest teams in the West. Mm-hmm. You know, the Lakers kind of struggling a little bit with Portland, still winning one tonight, of course. Yeah. Could they have looked better? Yeah.
100%.
But, you know, they pulled it out, so, you know, that means something. But, you know, the Clippers don't have a lot of bigs, man. They really don't. I mean, they got Zubac, but he's 6'10". Mm-hmm. They got Montrezl Harrell, who's 6'9". Mm-hmm. They got Kawhi, who's 6'8", and they got Paul George, who's 6'8". Yeah, they ain't that big, man, compared to a Lakers squad.
Well, I think the Clippers, though, I think they have size across the board. I think that they're not tall when it comes to, you know, obviously, the top guys, they don't have 7-footers and shit, but I think when it comes to, you know, them being, you know, tall across the board, I think they are. I think they're only short, really, with Beverly, and that's pretty much it. I mean, who else is really short on that team?
Lou Williams, for sure, short, yeah.
But outside of those two
but he kind of plays with the second unit, so he's kind of always taking advantage of your bench for the most part. But he'll close games.
Yeah, he's just coming in and scoring.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, I still like the Clippers, man. I think if Paul George can get it together.
I think
they have the best roster, though. I think in the West, I think they have the best roster. However, depending who comes out of the East, I think they could have some problems. Mm-hmm. Like, who do you like coming out of the East, like straight up?
This year, I truly believe that Boston's going to come out.
You really think the Celtics have what it takes to beat a Milwaukee squad?
I don't know if Milwaukee has enough all around to beat Boston.
I mean, all around. Can they stop Giannis?
That's a testament, but who do they have outside of Giannis and Middleton? But Middleton's been very streaky.
Yeah, not too good, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Listen, you gotta get it right. I think for Boston, the team you gotta worry about
top to bottom.
You got the team. If you're Boston, you have got to worry about Toronto more than you do Milwaukee, in my opinion. So? I think Toronto's got a plethora of scorers, man.
I think Toronto has the best defense for sure. Like,
here's the thing,
they're
though.
the best defensive team in the league, in my opinion.
Okay.
Top to bottom.
Let me ask you this, though. When you play Milwaukee, who's going to take care of everything?
Giannis.
When you play Toronto, who's going to take care of the game? You don't know.
Everybody. Yeah.
It
That's
seems
scary.
I agree with you. Mm-hmm. There's things you can do.
But that's with Boston, too, though.
Yeah.
Boston has guys that can take over. They don't just have that. I mean, obviously, Tatum is their star.
Yeah.
Tatum's their guy. You know what I mean? Tatum's going to give you 30 if you want 30 from him.
Right now, do you think Tatum's better than Siakam?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, Siakam's not shooting like Tatum.
No, he's definitely not shooting, but still tends to produce the same numbers or relative to it.
I would say relative to it, but I mean,
got a better record too.
Tatum finally came out this year when it came to comes to numbers. I mean, Tatum put up 23 this year.
Yeah, good numbers for him. Yeah, absolutely.
I think 6 rebounds and 5 assists. So that's an all around game. But I think the thing with Tatum, man, is he's kind of just playing that role throughout the season. Stats wise, he's just kind of making sure he's getting all of his guys in a rhythm. But when they get in the playoffs, it's Tatum time. You know what I mean? Tatum, in reality, Tatum puts up almost 30 every night in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing well. There's no doubt. Yeah, I mean, I think though, like we talked about last week, I still think that the whole Tatum Siakam matchup is going to be really good.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
I still think that Kyle Lowry plays great defense, so he'll definitely be on Jaylen Brown, and Fred VanVleet will be on Kemba.
Yeah.
So it's going to make for great matchups. I think what it's going to come down to, though, man, is who can hit the bigger shots and what second unit's going to play better. Yeah. Now, obviously, hit the bigger shots. It's a very obvious statement, but I think the games are going to be tight, and it's going to. I think you're going to have a lot of 110 to 104 games.
Yeah.
And it's going to be those guys in the fourth quarter when the game's tied at 96 who can hit the big three, who can hit the free throw. And I like Toronto. I think they just played for a title last year. I think they got a little bit more experience, even though they lost Kawhi, which is a big loss in those tough, tight games. Nick Nurse still seems to be able to do the damn thing.
Right. So do you think the Heat just have no chance against Milwaukee? I mean, how many games do you think Milwaukee... how many games do you think it's going to take Milwaukee if you think Milwaukee's obviously going to beat them?
I would say... I would like to say it'll be 6-game series.
6 games?
But I'll go for Milwaukee, but let me be honest with you now. It depends what Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero show up.
Right.
And here's why. If they can shoot an efficient 40% from the three-point line, both of them, which is a tough task to ask.
Right.
How are you? I mean, Chris Middleton's shooting like shit. Giannis isn't a three-point threat.
Yeah.
They've got some defenders over there. They can play defense. They're pretty nitty-gritty.
Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, I don't know if Jimmy Butler can guard him quite like Kawhi did, but I think he can definitely be one of the tougher matchups in the East for him, without a doubt. But
I think with Miami just has team guys, man.
Oh,
the
yeah,
whole
absolutely.
Team is and you got Bam Adebayo, you got Kelly Olynyk, you got Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson,
Gordon Dragic, yeah.
I mean, these guys, these are just team guys that are just willing to do what they got to do to win.
Dude, they're a good squad. And, which, it's one of our talking points is who do you think has looked the best thus far in the playoffs?
Miami.
And I agree with you. That was my pick, too. And it's not only the 4-0 sweep, but it's obviously, that does hold some precedent because, a lot of people thought Indiana was going to, potentially with the whole T.J. Warren, Victor Oladipo, Miles Turner, they had like that.
They got stars.
They had really good players, right? But the way I watch Miami play, like that's a nitty-gritty team, and they're going to give a lot of teams fits, which is why I said, I do have them like last week, I think I took Milwaukee, but I would take them to go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
I think they could do it in 7 games. I think that, the thing is like, ultimately, if they can figure out within 7 games, how is Giannis not going to score 40?
Right.
Excuse me. This has been a long night, brother.
It's a tough task, man. Giannis is...
Defensive Player of the Year, he just won, too.
Yeah, man. In reality, I mean, he's probably the best player right now. When it comes to just body wise, no one can physically match up with Giannis other than Kawhi.
I still think Kawhi is the
Yeah.
best player. Here's why, man. I mean,
So do you think, before we get into Kawhi, do you think LeBron or Giannis is better? Right now. Not LeBron last year, not the year before.
gosh,
Obviously,
not
LeBron's
legacy,
falling
but
off.
right now.
Yeah.
It's a really good question.
Because obviously with Giannis, Giannis is he's just going to bully you.
I mean, so
whole
here's the
game.
deal, man. It's like, so let me ask you this, just so I can clarify the question. LeBron definitely has a better jumper,
Yeah. Definitely.
not a better rebounder, which is, you don't hear that
There's
a
not
lot.
a lot of better rebounders.
Definitely a better
so-
passer. Giannis has proven to be a better scorer this season and a better rebounder
And defender.
and defender.
Yeah.
Now, does Giannis have the ability to score in multiple ways like LeBron does? No. But what he's good at, he's proven that nobody can stop. So
He's proven that
he might. I guess he is better.
He's
because-
going to do the same thing every game, and until you
Stop
stop
it.
him, he's not going to change it. And
So-
in reality, who's going to stop it?
if he gets a jump shot, he'll be the best player. Period.
Yep.
Oh, excuse me.
I mean, he doesn't have a terrible jumper. Obviously, his jumper's not good,
No,
but he's not scared to shoot it. So
he definitely takes it.
that's what's good. As long as he's not scared to shoot him and he's just consistently trying to shoot him, it's going to help. It's going to help him grow.
I can see that. I gotta think. Right now, I'll go with Giannis.
Yeah.
Just because of the simple fact that I always said, in my opinion, what makes a player the best, you got to be the best scorer, you got to be the best defender.
Yep.
Once you start arguing who's a better rebounder or better passer, in my opinion, you've already lost.
Yeah, you're kind of getting into, I wouldn't say meaningless stats.
Definitely not meaningless, but
But
it's the second
They
tier
don't
statistics.
They don't mean what points.
No,
mean,
because
you know
it's
what I mean?
like, okay, if my small forward averages 5 or 7 rebounds a game, right?
Right.
Okay, I'm cool with that. But he averages 30. Okay, are your small forwards averaging 23, 10, and 10?
Right.
Pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
But maybe his plus minus isn't as efficient because he's just chasing that triple double.
Would you rather have a guy that's putting up 25 or a guy that's putting up 20 and 8?
Well, I mean, obviously the dynamic of the team I'd have to know a little bit more about, and like what the plus minus is, what the wins are for the team.
What do you? I'm saying, would you rather a guy put up 25 points for you efficiently, or a guy put up 20 points and 8 rebounds efficiently?
So I mean, look at Kobe Bryant. You know, I mean, he averaged 25 a couple seasons when he had Pau Gasol.
Excuse me.
Bless you. And they won a championship. So I go with the 25 efficiently. I think that I mean, I hate to say this, and not that it's an easy thing, but you could be 20 and 8 on a real shit team.
Right.
So there's always that fluctuation. You could be. You can't be on a shit
There's
team
a lot of guys. I mean,
and drop a
look at
25.
John Collins. John Collins put up a double this year.
Yeah, he did. He's one of 5 guys to do it this year, or whatever the hell it was. Played, he's
But
really good basketball player.
who's
But
talking about John Collins right now?
nobody. I mean, that's
No
the
one.
problem because you're not winning games. Like I
Gotta
told
win.
you, you could average a triple double every game, but if your team's not winning, maybe you're just padding stats.
Right.
Look at Harden.
Yeah.
Connor was doing the whole pad and stat thing. Westbrook, pad and stats. Westbrook averaged a triple double back-to-back seasons.
Yep.
And they didn't give him MVP. So what's that tell you? He was pad and stats. If you average a triple double in a season, you should probably always be the MVP. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I mean, I definitely agree. So since we're kind of on that topic, so LeBron and AD, who do you think is the bigger or the better player this year, or who's helping them get to that next level? Do you think LeBron's doing a better job, or do you think AD's doing a better job? You know what I mean?
People are probably going to hate me for this one, but listen, man, I mean, let's go back to it. Plus minus.
Right.
Tells you a lot about a game. I looked up this statistic the other day. You know who the second all-time leading turnover player with turnovers is in the NBA?
I'm gonna go with LeBron.
It's LeBron James. Now,
who's number one?
I think it was Larry Bird, if I'm not mistaken. Larry Bird or Magic Johnson. I can't remember. It's one of the two. But the bottom line is this. Turns the ball over quite a bit. I think he averages like 4 or 5 turnovers a game this season.
Let's actually search that up, bro.
Look it up, man. Yeah, you might as well, instead of me going off memory, look what is he average in turnovers in the bubble? That's the better question. That's really what we need to know, because obviously, it's kind of a different season since the bubble started. So let's get that looked up and see what we got.
Let's look at his turnover stats this year. I'm going to go with his basketball reference. Let's see what we got. LeBron is averaging almost 4 turnovers a game this year. Yeah.
So four turnovers a game, right? Yeah. That's quite a bit.
Yeah, I would say.
Now, in the bubble, he's averaging 23, 10 and 10. He's got the triple double.
Yeah, he's not looking that good in the bubble.
But he's very passive, and to his defense too, he does have a lot of teammates missing open jumpers.
Yeah.
I mean, J.R. Smith hasn't shot the ball well. Deion Waiters hasn't shot the ball well. Alex Caruso hasn't shot the ball well. And in the fourth quarter, I don't know where the hell Anthony Davis has been. But that's another conversation in its own right. I mean, LeBron helped beat the Clippers in a big way in the fourth quarter. You have to give credit where credit is due. He showed up. He hit, he missed an open jump shot, got his own rebound, put up a layup. Whatever the hell Kawhi and Paul George were trying to accomplish there with that dumbass on-ball screen, and then he just stood right there. That ain't nothing but an excuse. I ain't even a Clippers fan, so I really don't care. But my whole deal is this. It's like, he didn't really look that good. I think Anthony Davis has been a little bit better. I think if you look at some of these games, Anthony Davis has been the high point man. LeBron's just kind of passing the ball.
Well, I think what hurts the Lakers, and obviously I kind of agree with you. I think Anthony's definitely playing better. But what hurts the Lakers is when they both LeBron and AD have matchups, they are almost eliminated for periods of times. It's kind of scary. If you think the Lakers are going to win the championship, but if they're playing against a guy that can play defense. It's almost like they're shut down for half the game. LeBron, when he's got a good defensive matchup, he does not want to go after that guy. He's passive the whole game, and when it comes down to it, he doesn't have a rhythm at the end of the game. So now he's trying to take shots and make shots when he doesn't have a rhythm because he's just been passing out. And he's what, 3 for 12 or 16 or 6 for 15 or 6 for 18, and it's like you didn't catch that rhythm because you were so passive throughout the game, and now you're just chucking up shots in the fourth quarter. So I really, it's kind of hard to see which one is really better because they're both really struggling when it comes to in-game situations. So.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that whole statement there. I mean, I've watched enough of them now since the bubble, and it's like, is it father time? Is he maybe he's preserving himself? That's what I keep thinking. I'm thinking maybe this guy's just going to take it easy. I'm going to let me pass the ball. We should beat Portland, no problem.
Right.
Yeah, Portland got the first game, but since then they haven't lost.
Yeah, and Dame got hurt, so that's kind of tied into it a little bit,
Yeah, but you know what, man? It is what it is.
I don't think they would have won this series either way.
Yeah.
But, Dame getting hurt didn't help. So.
No, not at all.
So, yeah.
But that's my whole thing. It's like, is LeBron holding back for later in the playoffs? Only time will tell. Maybe he's like, man, this series should be pretty easy. Let me just get my teammates involved. Let's try to get them a little bit of experience, a little big time, some big time shots. I don't know. I mean, the only person who really knows that is him. But there are times where I feel like he's struggling. Like, you know, when not to keep bringing it up, but the Clippers-Lakers game, I thought Kawhi looked so good, bro.
Yeah, I think LeBron is struggling to find a shot at times.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
He's kind of lost.
he's struggling to get that ball to go in the basket from mid-range. But I'm telling you, man, come Eastern Conference Finals, he'll probably end up being the best player on the floor.
I think he'll turn it around. I think he'll definitely change it up a little bit. You know, make it to where he's putting up LeBron games.
But see, let me ask you this though: do you think that LeBron was more efficient, averaging the 48 and 8, or the 23, 15 and 10?
I think you said 48 and 8.
Yeah, whatever the hell. I mean, because when he was,
I think he was more efficient when he was doing
yeah,
because when you watch those games, he's shooting 50%.
Over at times, which is so impressive.
He's not efficient this year, not in the playoffs.
No, not at all. And that does. If you're a Laker fan, you got to be worried about that.
That also might, that adds into he's probably trying to get Anthony Davis a rhythm, because if he can get Anthony Davis in a rhythm, he doesn't have to do as much. And
for this series, right? I mean, especially. Right. And we so who do you think is the best player in the playoffs so far? Since the playoffs have started, who do you think is the best player?
Right now, I would probably go with Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell? Yeah.
I mean, he's putting up almost 40 every game, so obviously I'm talking statistics. I'm not talking, best player. I'm just talking performance-wise. I think Donovan Mitchell is definitely the best performer right now.
Really? Okay. I mean, performance-wise, I can see that Jamal Murray's definitely up there.
Yeah.
I still feel like Kawhi is definitely the best. I think that, there's times where that series that he's really been able to turn it on. Yeah. It definitely does seem to be one of the more competitive series. Like, all right, the Mavericks are definitely playing.
I think they're the most competitive series right now.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably say that, right? I mean, what other series has really been that competitive? Every other one's kind of like a 4-0, 4-1. Like
4-0, 4-1. I don't even think we're going to have a 4-2 this year besides maybe the Clippers and Dallas.
Well, it's only 3-2.
You said what?
It's 3-2 right now, so.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's either going to be a 7 or 6 game. So.
Right. So, you got Donovan.
So, who's up? Wait, the Clippers are up, correct?
3-2.
Yeah. Yeah, man, Clippers are going to.
Yeah, I'll probably close it out. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, they look. If Paul George is gonna play like he did last game, they
don't even need him. Kristaps is out, so.
Well, yeah.
Kristaps being injured, I mean, what are they really gonna do?
Well, fuck, dude. I mean, Luka's got the ankle injury too.
Yeah, man, it's unfortunate that they're getting so injured. I mean, next year, if they can get one more good signing,
they need one, dude. That's for sure.
They're gonna be good, very good. But yeah, man.
Let's talk about that UFC tonight, man.
Yeah,
Let's start with that main event.
Yeah, how do we feel about Anthony Smith, man? What's going on with him?
I mean, so last fight, he goes from, getting his ass beat, handing his teeth to the ref,
destroyed,
to a loss tonight. I mean, I think we looked it up, it was 35-16.
Yeah, man.
It's like when you get and obviously, Anthony Smith's a great fighter, but when you get 16 losses, you're almost a journeyman at that point. It's like
I think he's fought so much, and I think what the UFC was kind of just clinging on to what he did for, a year. He had one good year, and that one good year kind of catapulted him into, a different, area. To where they thought he's just going to be top 5 for the next 3 years. You know what I mean? And he just once he got to top 5.
So he was number 5 tonight, and he lost.
Yeah, he's been top 5 for the past year. So
I mean, but like realistically, he ain't beating John Jones. He would beat Anthony Johnson.
Yeah, Glover Teixeira, none of these guys he's beating.
He obviously lost to Glover.
Yeah, Glover.
He ain't beating Dom Reyes, and he probably ain't beating Jan Blachowicz.
Right. Yeah, Jan is one of the best right now too. I mean,
so it's like, dude,
nobody in the top 5.
Everybody there, you're probably losing to. It's like,
right.
You might need to come with the realization that you're not gonna be a world champion anymore because he still has that mentality. Which, I mean, why the hell are you fighting if you don't feel like you're gonna be the best?
But in reality, he's on his way out, man. I mean, he's pretty much done. You know what I mean? I don't really see him going any further. So, I mean, who's he gonna fight? Who else? Who else is on the table for him?
Who's that new guy that just signed from Rise and the champion? Yuri.
Yeah, that would be a bad fight for him.
Oh, he'd definitely get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, Yuri.
But you know what though? It's a great fight for
special.
Yuri. So that's like the whole thing too, right? Like if you're gonna market, these fighters, fuck it, dude. You gotta build a name for these upcoming guys off these old guns.
We need a Yuri and a Glover to share.
Oh, you trying to get my man Glover fucked up?
Hey man, Glover just got a big win.
Yeah, I mean,
so capitalize on it. Now you
knocked the fuck out.
We
ain't trying to see our dog Glover Teixeira get knocked out too hard. Man's already like 47.
Yeah,
with a Brazilian birth certificate, so his ass is probably really 60.
We need to see Anthony Johnson come back and get some big victories, man. Anthony Johnson.
I think him in heavyweight's better. Let's just get him in heavyweight. Don't cut weight anymore. Just chase John Jones. Let's get the heavyweight fight.
He's gonna chase John Jones, and John Jones is gonna lay out him.
Yeah, you have to be dumb not to. See, that's the whole deal. Like, everyone's like, oh, let's see John Jones and Francis. But it's like, John Jones is going to kick him in the fucking knee, work for a takedown. Francis' ass ain't getting up. Yep. And that's 5 rounds. And it's just how it's going to be. Could Francis win? Yeah, if he clips him. Mm-hmm. Which, he's proven that, he can hit the money shot. So there's no doubt about that.
He's Deontay Wilder of MMA.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the deal. He's fighting a Tyson Fury if he fights John Jones.
Right.
And
he's going to slip everything.
And he's going to fucking counter you like a madman. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely a problematic matchup, in my opinion. Not to say that's the actual facts. Right. But, it's probably more likely what happens. I mean, that's just a fair assessment. I think a lot of people would agree with that. Let's pull up the card, man. Pull up the UFC tonight. Let's just, my memory's kind of running dry. But, Ricardo Lamas got it done tonight, which was big. I don't know if, the viewers at home are really big on UFC like we are, but, Ricardo Lamas has been doing the damn thing for a long time now.
Yeah, I think he's almost, he's almost done, man. He's
definitely been at the fight game for far too long. Robbie Lawler lost to Neil Magny, which was a big thing. If I'm not, was it a split or was it unanimous?
It was unanimous.
Right.
He got spanked.
Yeah. So, I mean, he definitely did.
30-27.
Right.
I mean, it clearly,
I don't know if it was 2-1 or 3-0, but
I mean, obviously Robbie Lawler can't stuff a takedown. So.
Well, that's Neil Magny's game to the max too. So it's like if you're gonna let his game plan work like that, you probably ain't gonna beat him. So I mean, yeah, man. Other than that, the fights were decent. I mean, we got 1 month before we got the big fight, the pay-per-view. So UFC's blessing us, giving us some filler fights, which you can't be mad at them for. We got the NBA going on. There's a lot of talks that college football within the certain conferences are going to go down, which I'm excited for. I mean, I love nothing more than getting ready to watch our Gators play, man. I mean, I'm so excited.
Yeah, if all the watchers out there don't know, huge Florida Gator fans. Obviously, we hate FSU. So if you are an FSU fan, you can suck it. Obviously, keep watching the podcast, but you can suck it. And
I mean,
at the end of the day,
fuck FSU.
Yeah, fuck FSU. But at the end of the day, it's all fun and games, man. But I just really hope we can see a good college football season this year.
Me too.
Yeah, we really just hope to see one this year. But in reality, I mean, I think Florida's top 4 this year, man.
So I think we came in preseason number 8. I mean, like right now, dude. I mean, there's a couple teams above us that I don't agree with. Yeah, it's like every year, fucking USC. You'd have to go with the AP top 25. It's not going to be like an official FBS, that's for sure. So just type in AP top 25. I think it's Clemson 1, Ohio State 2, Alabama 3. What? LSU's not even top 4. Can't forget Alabama. What the hell am I doing?
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't understand why Penn State and LSU is 6 and 7. I can see Penn State. They always have a good recruiting class, but they never seem to win games when it counts. But LSU, as we all know, had a record-setting number of players drafted last year. If I'm not mistaken, it was 23.
Sounds about right.
So, just the fact that they had 23 guys go in the draft, and all of them were upperclassmen, shows how young LSU is going to be this year. So,
right.
they're going to be tough, man. I mean, it's going to be tough to really think LSU is even going to stay in the top 5 or top 10, sorry.
The thing is, too, it's like LSU wasn't very good the year before they won the national title with, Joe Brady being, a massive addition to the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Can he? Did he wear enough off on the team to translate that ability, that moxie, that swagger? I don't know.
Does he have a quarterback that's gonna turn into another Joe Burrow?
Probably not. I mean, Joe Burrow was special.
Not put up Joe Burrow numbers, but is he going to kind of follow in those footsteps?
I don't know, man. I mean, I think that's the beauty of college football is we're gonna have to wait and see. It's like they said, before last season, if it weren't to play Joe Burrow was a 6th-round pick. Since that season occurred, he was a 1st-round pick. Was he 1 or 2? It was 1.
He was number 1.
So
For sure, he was unanimous.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like we need to have a college football season. There's so much other stuff that people are allowed to do right now during this COVID. Why should we deny the right for these kids to go out and have the opportunity to want to play?
And it's kind of unfortunate.
If they want to play. If they don't want to play, they shouldn't be held against them. But if you want to play, we should be allowed to play. I mean, look at Ohio State. They're protesting. They want to play more than anybody right now. Nebraska. It's the northern states. It's kind of
unfortunate, too, because, you have these NFL teams that are they're going to play.
Right.
NFL is 100% playing this year, and they've already put it out that there's going to be fans in the stadiums. So
certain places are going to have fans. Some are still up in the air about it.
Yeah, some are up in the air, but we're literally 2 weeks out from the NFL.
Oh shit, huh? I didn't know that.
We're 15 days away. So
jeez.
It kind of come up on us quick, but you got Jacksonville's going to be at, if I'm not mistaken, 25% capacity. And I think Baltimore already said they're going to be 25% capacity. So all these teams are pretty much for the most part are going to have people in the stands. So at least with college, if we're not going to have people in the stands, at least give these guys an opportunity to showcase their abilities and try to get to the pros. At the end of the day, I mean, yeah, it's tough because we're dealing with COVID and all that, but
sure,
the only way these guys are going to make it is if they play. So.
Well, on that note, too, man, I want to say shout out to my boy Quay Brown. Good luck on your transfer, man. Hopefully, you get to go somewhere you really want to go. If you're listening, best of luck to you. I know you had cheers to your career at SIU.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully you can pick it up at the next level. Playing at a big time program and show your skills off and be a 1st or 2nd round pick.
Yeah, I mean, and I honestly, man, just looking at some, highlights and a little bit of game tape here and there from Quay, man. Quay's gonna be special, dude. He's gonna be big time, man.
He's good, man. There's no doubt about it.
Can't wait to see him in a bigger program. That's gonna be fun to watch.
That'd be cool. I mean, I don't know where he wants to go quite yet. I was talking to him the other day, but I know he's leaving obviously, and he's got options. So that's all you can ask for. Exposure at the the highest level, which I do believe he's gonna get without a doubt.
Oh, for sure.
So
for sure.
The only thing is, and I know he's got the work ethic, man, but there's going to be a lot of Quay Browns out there. There's a lot of talented guys that work hard, but he's got something, man. That guy works harder than most, man. So you got to give him that.
Yeah. How do we feel about the NFL season? I know we haven't really touched on it a little bit. How do you feel? Let's just start with some hometown teams. How do we feel? Obviously, Tampa's going to do this year. Miami, Jacksonville.
Oh, Tampa's definitely better than Jacksonville and Miami.
Yeah, for sure. How do you feel Tampa's going to do this year? Do you think they
10 wins?
You think they're going to win a Super Bowl?
10 wins. I don't know.
Bad.
I don't know who the hell wins the Super Bowl. Tampa makes playoffs for sure.
Yeah.
Wild card. I think I mean, New Orleans is so good in the regular season, man.
Problem is New Orleans.
It's just suck in the playoffs.
They don't suck in the playoffs.
Well, you get fucked.
They get robbed every year. If
yeah,
we're being honest, we can't lie.
At some point, you got to stop letting the refs dictate that shit too,
man.
and that's the problem there. But that's a whole nother conversation.
For sure.
I mean, you could talk about that goddamn pass interference call all goddamn day long. I swear to God, I think that is a pass interference.
That was 100% a pass interference.
But for whatever the fuck reason, that ref had his thumb up his ass and
we're 2 years out. We know for sure it was a pass interference.
That's that's one of those things where it's really unfortunate because that really does cost you. But you know what, man? If you just didn't let him get that close and you did your job a little bit better, just a little bit, man, probably not in that position. But it happens. I mean, and it's too unfair to be like, well, if this didn't happen, but it did. So you got to deal with it. But yeah, I mean, I understand it.
How do we who do we have with Costa and Adesanya?
I'm gonna, man, like, I feel like anybody that's really attacked Adesanya, like Robert Whittaker,
right?
Yoel Mero tried it slightly, then decided it's not a good idea. I think Adesanya, man. But the only thing is can Adesanya withstand a punch from that guy?
So I'm not sure, man. I
don't know.
I actually got to catch the Gastelum fight multiple times.
Great
Gastelum, fight. Great fight. Gastelum got to, he attacked him the whole fight, and he succeeded. And Gastelum's not a big dude, but I think if you put Costa. And you tell him, you basically give him the blueprint by watching that Gastelum fight.
In a way.
Obviously there's some things that Gastelum could have cleaned up with, not getting hit and stuff like that. But, dude, Costa's got a chin. The guy took almost every punch Yoel Romero could throw at him, and he just kept coming.
I just feel like, though, when he gets hit by Adesanya, it's a different type of punch. You're more susceptible.
You don't see it kind of thing.
Exactly.
Right.
The timing and speed is going to be so much better, and the skill's not going to be predicated, my apologies, on the power. Because when that guy hits you, man, it's just like, oh, man, I don't got to be super smooth. I don't got to be super clean. I just got to touch you. Mm-hmm. But Adesanya is super smooth and super clean, which is why I think that, man, if he can just withstand that initial barrage, man, I think he wins.
I don't know though, man. I mean,
I don't know.
Costa's got some good cardio.
Yeah, he does.
If you watch him in the Romero fight, the guy literally went balls to the wall, 3 straight rounds, just fucking going nuts.
That's funny.
I don't know, man. I don't know who wins that fight. But if I, had to put some money on it, I would go Costa. I think Costa.
Look at that. Nice. Okay, well, that's like a main event we definitely don't agree on.
Yeah.
I think that Adesanya, man, after fighting Romero, he kind of has an idea for the bigger, stronger fighter.
Right.
I could be wrong. I mean, Costa does kind of fight more of a pressure pace than Yoel Romero does.
I think that pressure is gonna fuck Adesanya up, because Adesanya, he likes to sit back, pick his shots.
Right.
But if he doesn't have the opportunity to sit back and pick his shots, it might be a long night.
Definitely could be. I mean, there's no doubt about it,
Yeah.
but that's the beauty of fighting. You don't know until it happens.
Yeah. And we have this clip that obviously I'm going to compare to Adesanya and Romero because clearly...
Show them that clip of the day, dog.
Yeah, clearly the Jaguar is going to Costa. So this is just...
Check this shit out, man. This is something.
I've never... It just blows my mind that a fucking Jaguar is going to take a crocodile out like it's fucking nothing.
Dude, just
that bitch looks pregnant.
Yeah, right?
But shit, man.
Look like fucking swim.
In the fucking water, bro? Like,
they don't fuck around,
literally,
dude.
let me just swim through your territory.
They don't give a
fuck,
dude.
Like, that's just fucking crazy to me.
Look how stealth it is. It's like a fucking Navy SEAL, dog.
Bro, I feel like this crocodile felt him coming. He's just like, nah, I'm gonna be able to get out of this one. and just didn't know.
Hey, and they say you got a zigzag from that slow motherfucker, dog. Shit. Dog, I'll do foot fires, dog. I'll run in place from that thing, dog. I ain't scared.
Damn, bro. That was easy, bro. Mama Bear said take him from out, bro.
Yeah, dog, she ain't fed the whole goddamn family for what, the next 6 months.
Fucking crazy, bro.
Anyway, that's a badass video, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to fucking check some of that shit out, man. That's some cool shit.
But yeah, man, I mean, podcast number 2, guys. Like, subscribe, come talk to us, let us know what you want us to talk about next time. Obviously, we're going to end on a fucking amazing note. My song, my single, Survival, out now, SoundCloud only. I don't post shit to make money, I only post it for my viewers. Jimbo and Jared, jiving on the Jive Show.
We got guns. We got phones.
We got guns. We got
Go check your shit out now. Go
check it out, guys. All right, we'll see y'all next week.